Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode with your boy iTrack. We just hit 10K subscribers. Shout out to all the day one subscribers. Shout out to all of the new subscribers. This is quite amazing. I jumped into YouTube with no expectations at all, so this is definitely a pleasant surprise. If you haven't been here before, what we like to do is look at all the creepy TikToks and all the interesting TikToks and kind of come to our own conclusion about what we think. Are these facts or fake? I appreciate all the support, and as we know, this is the most active community on YouTube. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it.
Michael Jackson's son had a party. People are saying Michael Jackson was actually there in disguise, bro.
No,
look at this. Nah. But it's so obvious. This shit is obvious. Look. I'm gonna show you the video. So you can see here. See, he has an umbrella, always wearing sunglasses, always covering his skin. Now his son and I think his manager, they had a big yacht party.
Okay.
Now there's somebody on the boat that looks very suspicious.
Oh,
because
hell nah.
it's the only person that's wearing full covered, and look at his face and look at the choice of attire. Michael Jackson, he was known for being allergic to the sun because of his skin. He's always wearing long sleeves or stuff to cover himself. People are saying this is Michael Jackson after another plastic surgery to change his identity.
Oh, hell no.
And he's hiding and he's still chilling with his son in public.
Based on what we know about Mike and how he loves to be undercover, it might be Mike.
Don't you think that those shows look just like some rituals? Seems as their performance creativity is nothing less but a cult. This is the Weeknd show in Manchester, UK. Many people reported on feeling unstable about the vibe on his concert. For instance, this statue looks like a robot and AI. There is a spherical moon in front, and at the background, an apocalyptic burning city resembling New York. The Weeknd wears a mask and white gloves symbolical for Masons. He is also the one who survived the apocalypse scene at the background. Here he looks like some wizard, but gets worse. After dark, everything changes and we see white hoods and ritualistic synchronization. The tour is called After Hours Till Dawn, and pay attention to apocalyptic design with alien or AI and destruction of the world. How does that look? It's not an entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, it's an occult. Don't you think they can cast spells through these dark events? It's all about this statue here and giving attention to this almost like a worship. This is my personal assumption, is not to spoil anyone's fun.
The theme of his concert definitely brought a lot of attention to his music.
Psychological test. With this test, you can find you which hemisphere of your brain is more pronounced. Is this horse moving forward or backward? If you see the horse moving forward, then your left brain hemisphere dominates. It means you are analytic and logical. If you see moving the horse backward, then your right brain hemisphere dominates. It means you are creative and intuitive. If your two brains hemispheres are in sync, then the horse can run alternately in both directions, but is very rare.
Now that horse looked like it was moving backwards to me. Let me know in the comments what you guys think.
I'm saying? Anyway, by 2014, Thug was in the door, signing a Gucci, then linking up with Birdman, and finally being picked up by Kevin Lyles and Leo Cohen under the label 300, a label known for most of its big artists being dead, killed, or through in prison, like King Von, Mo3, PND Rock, XXX Tentacion, you know what I'm saying? And the list goes on. It's been recently rumored that the label sacrifices the artists who's either not in compliance or about to finish their contracts. And since the very beginning of his career, Young Thug has been subliminally showing his allegiance to the Baphomet and the Freemasons, even admitting it and taking pictures to show his initiation certificate.
I'm a Mason. I beat all my cases.
I'm Mason. I beat all my cases.
After his initiation, Thug started to sign artists to his YSL label because of the main goals as a Freemason is influence, because with influence you can socially engineer the masses to indulge into whatever agenda is on the table. Pay attention. That's why these artists get a little fame and status, then they create the label to recruit younger artists from the streets to influence and get them to join these secret societies as well. It's a cycle, like a pyramid, you know what I'm saying? It's how this stuff is achieved. They use artists like Young Thug, Future, Yo Gotti, Jay-Z, Drake, etc. to sign and groom the new young artists. You know what I'm saying? Preparing them to join these societies. These are the gatekeepers. You feel me? Because if you pay attention, Thug hasn't had big numbers throughout his career. It's really a hit or miss with Thug's albums. You feel me? He don't have big sponsors, commercial deals, nothing. But Thug is responsible for influencing most of Atlanta rap scene, bringing numerous artists into the occult like Lil Durk, Lil Baby, NBA Youngboy. You remember he proposed to them, like, you know, a lot of stuff like that. A Gunna, YSL, Duke, Weezy, Yak Got It, and the list goes on. This alone made Young Thug powerful within the industry. He took the oath and followed through with it to the fullest, going through with all of his set rituals and never told the secrets in an interview or in his music. He ain't try to drop no jewels. You know what I'm saying? Thug was down with it. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of you are like, well, if he never spoke out, then why did they allow him to go to jail? You know what I'm saying? And notice I said allow, because when you are accepted into the Freemasons and you have a certain level of influence, they give you like immunity until you break that oath. Why you think artists like Lil Durk can tell you about murders and assaults?
He was definitely doing some dissecting for sure.
Discovery. A mysterious video allegedly recorded in the 1960s at the infamous Area 51 has surfaced, depicting a doctor conducting a medical examination on an alien creature. The footage, surprisingly high in quality for that time period, captures a unique moment of interaction between humans and extraterrestrial beings. The video, which has gone viral on social media in recent days, clearly shows a gray type of extraterrestrial being examined by a doctor. The black and white images depict the doctor using a stethoscope to listen to the creature's heartbeats and breathing. Subsequently, the doctor focuses on examining the creature's mouth with a medical instrument. Throughout the examination, the extraterrestrial appears uncomfortable and restless. The video captures an expression of surprise and confusion on its face. The creature attempts to distance itself and displays a defensive reaction when its mouth is being examined, suggesting sensitivity or unfamiliarity with human medical practices. Although these intriguing images of an alien undergoing a medical examination at Area 51 in the 1960s remain shrouded in mystery, they fuel imagination and continue to foster speculation about human involvement with beings from other worlds.
I mean, that looked pretty legit. I might have to do some follow-up on that.
Unexplainable.
Okay, so am I tripping? Or okay, so the noise is my turtle. And I'm home alone, right? But the reflection shows like that's me.
Follow for more.
Creepy.
Prisons are extending their reach beyond jail cells to make more money off incarcerated people.
It seems really kind of suspicious that, you know, the records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
Including you, Jay-Z. Yes. Yes. You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men.
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons.
If you've been paying attention to the industry over the years, you've probably heard about how Ice Cube has made it his side hustle to expose the shortcomings of the industry. But it seems even that isn't enough for him, as the rapper has now taken things to new heights. Now, he's not just stopping at calling the powers that be out on the internet. Oh no. Now, ICE is doing full-blown interviews about these people moving the chess pieces in the industry. And it seems Jay-Z's name may have come up in the process. This would ordinarily not raise any flags, as people call out the biggest industry players all the time. But with this one, ICE actually laid a trail for anyone interested in his truth. And what he talked about, don't even get me started on these big names who have...
You can see it's very large hands. See its eyes. It clearly is a male. You can see right there. This is the front of the Sasquatch. And then you can see it's the back side. You can its hands are gigantic. You know, compared to a human's hand, like my hand's not even close.
I mean, that could be Bigfoot. If anybody's seen Bigfoot, let me know in the comments.
Psychology trick to test if someone is a narcissist. Part 2. If you suspect someone is a narcissist, tell them something that would make them look better by being your friend. For example, that your father actually owns a private jet that you use to travel around the world with. Now look them straight in the eye. They'll either show a hopeful smile because they found their new victim to draw resources from, or you'll see a jealous, hateful look. Then you say, "Just kidding, my father can't even afford a private jet in his dreams." Their next facial expression will tell you everything.
But now Dave Chappelle has always been funnier than me. And Chris Rock has always been funnier than me. I've always been aware of who was funnier than me. I've just also been aware of who wasn't. So now I know the real Bernie Mac stories, and I know that the people that made money off Bernie Mac didn't like him. They hated his guts. And that was our king. That was our real king. For all of those of us who was out there doing it for $20 for 40.
I think Cat Williams was one of the first comedians I ever noticed that was spilling that tea.
I can't even begin to tell you how dangerous this act is. First, it was passed in the middle of the night with 40 minutes to read an 800-page bill, which is unacceptable. As of January 1st, 2023, the following things will go into effect, and people need to be aware of this. It abolishes cash bail for almost every offense. This includes, but isn't limited to, kidnapping, armed robbery, second-degree murder, drug-induced homicide, aggravated DUI, threatening a public official, and aggravated fleeing and eluding. Offenders released on electronic monitoring have to be in violation for 48 hours before law enforcement can act. They could almost drive to Alaska before we can even look for them. It denies victims their constitutional rights. And keep this in mind, businesses and homeowners. Officers will no longer be able to remove trespassers from your residence or your businesses. Someone could decide to live in your shed, and all we can do is give them a ticket. You have to decide what level of force is required to remove them, and whether or not it's legal. This is a massive threat to the residents of Orland Park, Cook County, and Illinois.
So I saw a video of a guy who was talking about how they are coating our fruits with roaches. Now, I decided to do my own research, and the guy is right. So basically, they are coating our fruit with shellac. But how is shellac made? Shellac is made from roaches in India. All right. I got a whole video on that. If you look at my other videos, you'll see the whole process on how they make the shellac with the bugs. They are putting that on our fruits. See, this is why you go into the market and you see all these fruits looking so perfect and shiny now. That's why. So look at this. This is supposedly organic oranges, mandarins, whatever they call it. Look at this. Coated with vegetable and or lac resin-based wax. Lac resin comes from a roach in India. Look at this. Organic limes, right? Look down here. Coated with food grade. And of course, they always call it food grade because that's just what they do to make it sound better. Beeswax and shellac. Are you guys not paying attention to this? Have you not been seeing this all these years? Because I didn't. It's called the Lassifer bug, all right? AKA Lucifer. They call it Lassifer because they're basically just mixing the name up and it's really shellac. So they're throwing shellac inside of Lucifer and calling it Lassifer. Look at these apples. Look at this. They put it up under the bottom. Look at the bag. Look at this. Look right there on the bottom. Shellac-based wax to maintain freshness. Bullcrap, okay? There's roaches. They're coating all of this with roaches. You gotta understand they're coating all your fruits with roaches. Look at this. Look at these oranges. Coated with food grade, vegetable, whatever, and or lac resin-based wax. I got a video on my page that's about 10 minutes long, which shows you exactly how they make this product. And they're coating the fruits with it. But in the meantime, watch this.
Saw this at Trader Joe's. People walk by this all day and they don't think twice. They're sleeping. Look at what they use. Do you know what lac resin is?
No.
You guys know what shellac is?
Yeah.
Shellac, nasty cockroach parasite from India. Go watch my video on shellac. I think it's pinned on this page. And they smash them up in a barrel. They're cockroaches. They smash them into their poop. Their poop makes a wax on branches. And they scrape this wax off the branches. And they step on it like they're making grape wine. And they make this wax poop. And they spread it out. And they use it to coat your deck. That keep it weathered from hurting your deck for years. And that's what shellac is, okay? And then, it's not ready to be as food yet, okay? It has to go and get arsenic. They add arsenic on the government's biotech website, okay? And then they add alcohol. Then it's food grade. Check it out. Wow. Check this out. You guys want facts on it? Watch. Alright guys, check this out. Resinous glaze, what is that? Shellac, right? The shellac is derived from the raw material sticklac. What's sticklac? This is sticklac. This is the wax they poop out when they're dying. Okay? This is demonic. Okay, now I just said that demonic. Shut up, dude. This isn't demonic. You're fear-mongering. Look at the name of this. What does that say? What does that say? What does that say?
Oh, you just killed it with that one. Yo, Mike Rock. Wow. Yo, I got my love for you, man. We gotta hang out.
There you go. All your kids' candy. You see that resinous glaze on it? Guess what? It's wax. They put it on our food. They put it on your candy. When I see things like this,
I would always see the wax, had no clue where it came from. That's creepy.
Bacteria they found is Vibrio, a flesh-eating bacteria that gets into your body through open wounds. They warn if you go into the water where that seaweed is, you could get sick from something like a cut or even a new piercing or tattoo. According to the CDC, some people are even at risk of those infections causing severe complications. It could hurt our marine life as well. So right now, researchers are warning you to stay out of the water if you see this seaweed floating around.
I don't know. For me, I believe in God. I'm very religious, came up in the church, so anything that has to do with Satan, I can't rock with.
And he's not the only person talking about this. In fact, Offset from the Migos actually mentioned specifically about so many people worshiping the devil and was even mocked for it by none other than Lil Uzi Vert, who then put a 666 symbol and so forth. But here's what he had to say.
All y'all went upside down cross. Even my little partners, man. Stop that boy, you look lame. All that worship the devil. Be with God, man.
And these aren't the only guys who are pointing this out. In fact, some of them are talking about how it's, this tongue-in-cheek thing. And then some have said, hey, I just DM'd them and asked him about, are you about Satan? Are you about just destroying this world? And here's what a couple of different artists had to say.
Well, you said that Lil Uzi Vert is the devil.
Yeah, he's most definitely the devil.
Definitely the devil?
Without a doubt.
Why is he the devil?
To be actually honest, I talked to bro. See, I'm a DMer. Like, I'll slide in somebody's DM ASAP.
Okay.
I slid in his DM and I asked him, I was like, bro, like, are you here to, like, destroy the earth? And he said, yeah, I believe that. He said all his friends are dead and most of them died.
Lil Uzi Vert had the upside down cross.
He had multiple ups and downs, maximum upside down crosses.
Time's changing, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was doing when people thought it was fucked up. But now, 20 years later, you know what I'm saying? Here it comes again. And now upside down crosses, which is disrespectful to my elders. You know what I mean? People can put the spin on it all they want to. But the way I was raised, you know, is disrespectful.
So it seems like there are plenty of people that are like, wait a second, I don't know how much you're just joking about all of this, pushing this, and even singing about converting your city girl girlfriend into believing in Satan, which was actually something that the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, would do, would take women and take advantage of them and then force them to worship Satan. And this is somebody rapping about this, and people think, oh, this is all just tongue-in-cheek. It's so funny. Oh, he just loves Marilyn Manson, and he loves on his Instagram page taking pictures of people with pentagrams, and he loves having all of this satanic imagery on his albums and so forth. And a lot of the people that are around him are saying, no, I don't think this is so much of an act. And then we see that he is bridging a gap here. And this is something that has happened plenty of times in music, whether it was Jay-Z with Linkin Park or with Lil Uzi Vert now and Bring Me the Horizon. And if you guys have never heard about them, they are openly God haters.
I guess I'd always considered myself atheist, so at least I don't believe in like an organised religion. It never really played much part in my life until I guess maybe a year or so ago, when it was kind of like I was in a really bad place, in a real dark place, and I ended up going to get some help and stuff. And in this particular, I guess, treatment or whatever you want to call it, one of the main things was actually like handing yourself over to God. And I just didn't understand that, and it made me really angry, and it kind of really made me sad as well, because I just don't think placing your hopes in something that clearly doesn't exist. You know what I mean? I guess for me, I wanted to get better for myself, and I wanted to get better for my friends and my family, and not for like, I guess, just this faceless God.
Song after song after song that mocks God, mocks Christians, hates God. In fact, in quite a few interviews, they've talked about this and been open about their hatred towards, of course, they say religion. And we can do an entire episode just on some of the ignorance. And it breaks my heart, because people think that, and I say this once again, coming from an atheistic background, where at some point I thought, oh, I'm intellectual because I'm an atheist. But then when you listen to people actually try to explain just the very foundation of the universe, just explain who we are, why we're here, purpose for this life, the reason why we have any moral inclinations whatsoever or anything like that, you realize, wow, that's a lot of words to explain something that really doesn't make any sense without a one true God. But not just that, but some of the ignorance you see them push, religion starts all these world wars. With just a good quick Google search, you could find out very quickly that that's not true. But people think this is the side of the intellect. And a lot of times it's simply because rebellion to this degree is...
Yeah, I definitely think it's good when the celebrities speak out and say their piece about what they see.
Why isn't this on every single channel 24/7? Everything's canceled. Most conspiracy theories are garbage. Flat Earth seems very interesting until you talk to somebody intelligent. I want there to be reptiles in the government so bad, but there's not. Anytime I get lost in a conspiracy theory, I turn to the most intelligent minds in the world. But what happens when the most intelligent minds in the world all agree that we are living in a simulation? This motherfucker found out if you're on DMT, not some hippie acid trip like crazy, but if you're on DMT and you look at the end of a laser beam, you could see code. Neil Tyson, one of our greatest minds, said,
I'm waiting for someone to convince me that we don't live in a simulation.
Elon Musk.
The argument for the simulation is quite strong.
Please explain why during this experiment, the electrons act differently when you look at them. You look away, they do one thing, you look back, it's like we caught the simulation. This is fucking crazy. There must be cheat codes.
When you want to operate in that $20 million club and higher, $100 million club where these brothers were operating in, you got to pay the price. You got to bond yourself to these people forever. Let's look at some of the other people that have bonded themselves to this demonic energy. When Kanye West wanted to be up in that space so bad, he signed the oath, took the oath rather, and signed on, became a Mason and took the oath, wrote Lucifer, Son of the Morning for Jay-Z, and that was his initiation. And sure enough, he lost his mom. Jennifer Hudson wanted to be up in that space. Yep, her family got taken at it on some ritual killings. Are you following me? So we need to understand this particular thing. You're not going to operate up into the $50, $100 million club and you not pay the ultimate price now. Not the ultimate price, but make a blood sacrifice. Jay-Z was well aware of all of this. So they paid him off. How did they pay him off? They gave him Rockaware. They gave him Rockefeller Records, Rock Nation, Jay-Z Inc. What's the bad? Scion made a deal with him. Then the New Jersey Nets, he owns part of that. J Hotels, 4040 Club. I can go on and on, bro.
Deep.
The man who went missing because of Area 51. Kenny Veach was an avid hiker and even had a successful blog. He was the type of guy that loved adventure and enjoyed exploring the great outdoors. Until one day this all came to an end. Kenny was exploring the Nevada desert near the famous top-secret Area 51 base whenever he came across a cave that was in the shape of an M. Kenny claimed whenever he approached the cave, he had this overwhelming sense of fear take over his body.
Something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt.
Kenny quickly went home and posted about his experience online. Unfortunately, this post created a series of events that changed his life forever. The internet loved hearing about Kenny's experience and even encouraged him to go back to the cave and record the journey. Kenny, being the natural explorer he was, accepted the challenge, grabbed his gear, and headed to the desert. After several hours of searching for the cave, he was unable to locate it. Disappointed, Kenny headed back home to tell everybody he was unable to locate the cave. His audience began to cast doubt in his mysterious end cave. So, Kenny decided to head back to the desert and show the world what he discovered. This hike just ended up being his last. Kenny went missing and the cave became one of the most famous missing persons cases in the world. Theories started to pop up online saying the MK was a secret entrance to Area 51 and that the government must have had something to do with his disappearance. Hikers around the world came to Nevada to search for Kenny and the M cave. Several months had gone by and finally somebody located the cave. It was indeed the shape of an M, except it was a shallow cave. And there was certainly not a secret entrance anywhere to be found. the video was posted online and it received millions of views and drew even more attention to the case. You're never gonna believe what happened next. Weeks later, another hiker went to the newly discovered cave and saw the government posted a "do not enter" sign. To this day, we haven't located Kenny's remains, and there's a lot of speculation on what happened on his last day.
I'm definitely suspicious about that. I mean, the man was blogging his every move, and then he comes up missing. It's kind of like, nah, something's up.
Once you understand the secret to positive affirmations, then your life's gonna change. When I first heard the term positive affirmations, I thought it was a bunch of nonsense. What, I'm supposed to just say a few things and my life's just gonna get magically better just because of a couple words? Like, what? But then I learned the secret and the science behind it. The secret to positive affirmations are not the words you say, but the feelings you feel because of the words. So if you're just saying a bunch of words but you don't feel them, you don't believe them, then it's not gonna work. Because it is the feeling that creates the electromagnetic charge in your body, which then attracts things into your life. So if you're saying a bunch of things but you don't believe it, you're still going to attract what you believe. And if you don't believe those things that you're saying, then you're going to attract negative things because it's about the feeling, not the words. So next time you are saying positive affirmations, make sure you are feeling them too. So if you say, I am wealthy, feel wealthy. If you say, I am loved, feel loved. And it is with that feeling that you will attract that back into your life because of the universal laws of vibration and attraction, which we've been over. If you want more, just DM me on Instagram. I'll send you a free PDF. Peace and love.
I'm definitely big on positive affirmations. I believe that's one of the keys to success for sure. Well, guys, there goes another one in the books. I appreciate you for stopping by and watching another one with me. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button. And let's go ahead and join the iTrack fam. I'll definitely catch you on the next one.